Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're looking at a PCI sound card. Here we have the Creative Labs Sound Blaster Audigy with the model number SB0090. I bought this sound card for $23 from AliExpress. Now in fact I bought two. Why buy one if you can buy two for double the price? This sound card is very versatile. You can use it with Windows 95, but it will also work under Windows 10. The focus of this video is, however, Windows 98 SE and also MS-DOS. I've uploaded all the drivers to the Phil's Computer Lab website, so you can download the driver CD as an ISO image, as well as all the updates and MS-DOS files as well. The way I've structured the video is we will talk about the sound card and the installation process with a few recording snippets, and at the end of the video we have a couple of longer recordings featuring games. So we have Doom, Expendable, Quake 3, Draken, Rune and also Need for Speed 3. This is the system I'm using for this project. We have a Gigabyte mainboard for socket 754 with a VIA chipset. The processor today is an Athlon 64 3000 Plus, and we have 512 megabytes of RAM. This is a DDR400 memory module, and I recommend to go with 512 megabytes because this sound card can load SoundFonts, and some of them can be quite substantial in terms of size. The video card we're using today is quite powerful. It is NVIDIA's Quadro FX 2000, a powerhouse for Windows 98 retro gaming. I'm using this to get smooth game capture at the end of the video. So I have enabled VSync, so the games run at 60 FPS, and we also have 8x anisotropic filtering. All of this means we're getting pretty decent performance. In 99 Max, we're getting almost 20,000 3D marks and the processor scoring almost 44,000. And we also have results for 3D Mark 2000, just under 19,000 3D marks. For storage, we have something really interesting. This is Seagate's 2TB SSHD, and I'm using a SATA to IDE adapter. I call this the world's fastest IDE hard drive. Not quite in terms of data transfer, because the bridge chip that converts between SATA and IDE has a speed limit, but in terms of access time and just loading times, this is as good as it gets. And I'll put some benchmarks on the screen showing you that this is a really solid storage solution for Windows 98. And in terms of software, I installed Windows 98 SE from a CD-ROM, and we're using the VIA 4.56 chipset drivers. And now we're gonna take a closer look at the card with all the ports at the back and also on the card itself. So this card has quite a few ports. For headphones and stereo speakers, you use this output. If you have a surround system, then the rear speakers go here, and the center speaker and the subwoofer go up here. This port is also digital out, and we will talk about digital out in a bit more detail later on. We have a line input here, we've got a microphone input here, and this is a Firewire port. On the card itself, we've got a telephone answering device input here. Analog CD goes here. This is for an auxiliary device. In the past, maybe something like a TV tuner card. Here you can connect an internal Firewire connector, and this is also used for the live drive. That's an optional accessory. Here you can connect a digital CD-ROM audio port, and here we've got the good old PC speaker that you can connect. And there's some more ports here. This is for an optional joystick bracket, and at the back here we've got an audio and external audio interface connector that goes to the live drive, and it's got the exact same pin out as the Sound Blaster Live. If you're interested in getting digital out, you can source one of these motherboard SPDIF brackets from eBay, around $10. They will give you coaxial and optical digital audio out. And these brackets use 3 pins. They're really easy to connect. Voltage is the first pin, then we've got ground, which is the second one, and this one is for the signal, and you just count the pins from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's pin number 6 from the bottom. And now we're going to talk about the installation of the drivers. I've made them available onto the philscomputerlab.com website, including the ISO image of the driver disk. You just have to download it and then burn your own copy. So there are a couple of ways you can install the drivers. You can just go to the device manager and point manually to the drivers on a specific folder on the driver disk. This will install VXD drivers 4.12.01.0130. For gaming, there's a choice between VXD and WDM drivers. You want to pick the VXD drivers. Personally, I recommend that you do run the installer from the disk. You will get an option choosing between VXD and WDM drivers, so choose the VXD option. You can also choose which programs you want to install. The Audio HQ is definitely something you want to have. If you're running the installer from the disk, it will also quietly update your DirectX to version 8. And there's a final driver update from Creative. You just run that and it will update your drivers to VXD version 4.12.16.2100. To get MS-DOS support, there is a DOS DRV folder on the disk, and you just run the setup and it will install the DOS drivers, and you will see in Device Manager a Sound Blaster 16 emulation device. And if you're lucky, it will configure the correct resources, which is for the addresses 220 for the Sound Blaster, 330 for the MIDI interface, and 388 for FM, as well as interrupt 5 and a low DMA of 1 with a high DMA of 5. In my case, this wasn't the issue, so you have to go in there and manually change around resources. You might have to swap the PCI slot, and you might also have to go into the BIOS and reserve some resources and play around with the PCI settings. But in the end, I got it all to work just fine. So this will give you DOS sound from an MS-DOS prompt from within Windows. So we get FM sound, Sound Blaster 16 compatibility, as well as general MIDI support with a default 4 megabyte sound font. So let's check out Doom with the FM sound and the default 4 megabyte sound font. Now, when it comes to DOS gaming, where this card really shines is you can upload sound fonts in the SF2 format. And if you've got 512 megabytes of RAM, pretty big sound fonts are possible. And they will then work in a MS-DOS prompt from within Windows. So one of my favorite sound fonts for Doom is the Audigy sound font. So I've loaded it. Let's take a listen to how Doom sounds now. Now you can also use this sound card in MS-DOS mode, and to get that working, all I did was I opened the Windows AutoExec batch file. It's got some entries for the Sound Blaster DOS driver, and I just copy pasted that into a Audigy batch file, and then I shut my machine down into MS-DOS mode. I run the Audigy batch file, and the sound card is now working. So now we have Sound Blaster 16 support. We've got the same FM quality as under Windows, and we also get the default 4 megabyte general MIDI sound font. Under MS-DOS mode, unfortunately, we cannot upload any SF2 sound fonts, so you will be stuck with that default 4 megabyte sound font that you get from Creative. There's a little tool that lets you configure the mixer, so I usually mute the CD input, and there's a little tick box to enable MT32 emulation. This will configure the sound card with the default MT32 instruments, so a few games that stick to these default instruments will now sound really nice. The Secret of Monkey Island is an example, so let's take a quick listen. With most sound cards under Windows, I recommend these two tweaks. go into the mixer options and then mute any inputs. For this video, I didn't even use the CD audio, so I wanted to make sure we're getting a clean recording, as clean as possible. And then go into the options of Windows and set the sample rate conversion to the highest quality. Now, I have gotten a comment in the past that this might affect performance, but on the machine I was using, I did not notice or measure a performance difference. I ran a few benchmarks and it had no impact on the performance. So guys, let's wrap up this video. I think the Sound Blaster Audigy is a terrific sound card. It is compatible with a lot of operating systems from Windows 95 all the way up to Windows 10. So very versatile. For Windows 98, it has a really good placing. It's got really good compatibility and quality with Windows games, especially games that support the EAX API. And the DOS support, it's not perfect, but it is a really nice bonus, especially if your game runs from a MS-DOS prompt from within Windows 98 and supports general MIDI, then this sound card really shines. You can upload any SoundFont that you desire and it will sound absolutely terrific. You can also use it in MS-DOS mode, but here we're losing the feature of loading custom SF2 sound fonts, which is a bit of a shame, but it still works. Like I said, it's not perfect compatibility. A ESS Solo 1 or a Yamaha YMF has better compatibility, but these cards do sound a lot better under Windows. And of course, it comes down to pricing, value, availability. I bought these for $23 each from AliExpress with free shipping, and that's very convenient for me. And I will put links down below in the description if you're interested in one of these. And now we've got some game recordings to look forward. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let me know what other video projects you want to see. Give it a like, share the video with your friends, and I shall see you soon with another one.
For the lead. a little brother, you're not half bad, Dylan. The way you found Adamar's dagger was clever indeed.
I hope his reward is better than that last book of Proverbs he gave me. There were a couple of funny ones, though. Like, your tongue weighs practically nothing, so how come you can't hold it? And, uh-oh.
Quick, get behind me!
Ren! Help me, Ren.
Adamar! My God, Adamar, what happened?
Despicable warthogs. They came to my house. They're using me as an example.
Don't move. Try to be still.
I saw Dallin, told him to run, but I think they caught him. Not sure.
If they even so much as touched him, I'll hunt them down and kill every one of those filthy beasts.
There's darkness afoot, Rin. This is only part of... only the Order of the Flame can confront it.
The Order? That's a myth, isn't it?
The book! You need the book! Locked in my house across the river. An orc stole the key. I last saw him entering the tavern. Find the key. Get the book. Enter the temple. Get the soul crystal. Find Erok. Erok.
Dallin? Dallin!
Ragnar! How are you, boy? I forgot myself. A warrior and a man now, aren't you? Congratulations, warrior. Apparently the weapons master doesn't share the village's high opinion, boy. He awaits to test your skills in the longhouse. Greetings, Ragnar. I hope you feel fit and ready for your final training with Audigy. Drink mead from my table to fortify yourself, my son. Ragnar, it's fair time the village added your sword to our ranks, friend. Did Ulf?
Greetings, young warrior. May Odin guide your sword on the field of battle. Strength of arm will not always be.
An old man and a girl just came into the village, and they told us that Conrac's men are burning the...
bested Sigurd and been named the Odin's Blade. But the ceremony at the rune stone is nothing but words. Tradition says that before you truly become a man, you must face the most skilled warrior in the village. You must face me. This is the true trial. Defeat me in combat, and your place among us as a warrior is assured. Defend yourself. muscle and spirit. A deadly combination. Would you like to feel this? Boy, you can. Well done, warrior. The trial is over. For I can see that there is no more I can teach you. I trust experience to show you the rest.
Yeah.